I always seem to find myself in the middle of these kind of mysteries and these dramas. I don't know how, but I don't know, I think just bad people gravitate towards me. A few years ago, well, it was quite a few years ago now, I was living in Los Angeles, and I kind of hang out with like quite a, an expat community there, so everyone kind of knows each other, and if there's a new person in town, you kind of get introduced to them and you kind of take them under your wing because they're English, you think, oh, they should be all right. So anyway, I met this guy, and he was very flamboyant, very glamorous, like dressed really well, and drove a sports car, and we just became like best friends, introduced to me by a friend of mine, and we'd go shopping, we'd have lunch, and yeah, didn't think there was anything wrong with him. But after a while, I kind of thought, well, what's he doing here in LA? Like, he doesn't seem to have a job, but he seems to have a lot of money. Like, he's always dressed really smart, he's always buying me lunch, he's always taking me shopping. And I was thinking, there's something not quite adding up here. And it turned out a few friends of mine had started to invest in a company that he said that he was starting up, and they were basically financing it. And it seemed to be that whenever they kind of gave him any money, the next day we'd go out on a shopping spree, or he'd end up buying a new car, or something was happening. And I kind of could see, you kind of see the pattern. So straight away you don't really notice it, but over a course of time, I started seeing this pattern of all of a sudden he'd have loads of money and then not so much for a while. And I was house sitting for him one day. I was looking after his little dog, and I thought, I'm going to go snooping because something's not adding up here. And I went
what
snooping.
Jessica Fletcher would have wanted.
Yeah, I felt really bad. You know, like when your heart's pounding and you're like, I shouldn't be doing this, because, I was in his house, and I came across some paperwork, and I could clearly see on this paperwork that as soon as, my very well-known friends were putting money into his bank account, the next day he was going out and buying a BMW, then the next day he was going to the dentist and getting a new big rack of, pearly white veneered teeth. And it was so transparent.
So this was on the bank statements.
It was all on this paperwork, and
Did you confront him then when he came in? Or?
Well, I was too scared, so I thought, what do I do? So I called my friends. I said, look, I really feel like, we can't trust this guy. I feel like all the money he's spending is your money. You need to stop investing in him. And then it turned out that he was wanted by police in the UK.
Oh.
So he'd kind of, got into trouble here and then fled to LA and just kind of created this whole new persona.
It's so common that,
And
so
it's
common now.
crazy.
I think with social media as well, people can create these kind of image, and we're all guilty of it. Somebody walks in, they've got a bit of a nice car and they're dressed very well, and you think, oh, they must have money.
Yeah.
So, when they start saying, I've got all these successful businesses, you believe it.